Hi, welcome to Cloud9 Yoga. I'm Claudia and it's an absolute pleasure to have you here with me today. Today's practice is going to focus mainly on Natarajasana. Natarajasana translates to plain English as a dancer pose or a king dancer pose. For today's practice, I really want you to channel a strap. And what I'd like you to do for the strap is make a little loop for your foot. So we're going to go through both and then come back through one. But I want the loop to be quite small. So when you put your foot into it, it's just about the size of your foot. Try to make sure it's nice and smooth. Okay, and then keep it at the top of your mat. And as you keep it at the top of the mat, I'll tell you later what we'll do with it. But let me tell you a little bit more about Natarajasana. So Natarajasana is another impersonalization of Shiva the god. And this time Shiva moves from the heels, from the top of the heels, down to the earth. At the top of the heels, Shiva was grounded, was steady. And this pose represents that move from stillness to movement, the constant shifting. If you've ever seen a picture of dancing Shiva, you will know that he's got more than 2 legs and more than 2 arms, like they frequently do in Indian mythology. But you will notice that, I think it's the second to his right arm, is pointing forward, like so. And this gesture is called Abhaya Mudra, and Abhaya Mudra has the qualities of protecting us from fear and ignorance and all evil. So we're going to practice it like so today, but we're going to think that we're just pushing into the wall from our groundedness. The standing leg represents the soul, which is steady, doesn't move, doesn't shift, it's grounded. And so is our foot that is, helping us balance. The other legs, the legs that move, the legs that dance, and the arms that dance on the Shiva, the version of Shiva with more than 2 legs and 2 arms, they are supposedly representing the moving world. But in the pose, Natarajasana, what we're supposed to feel or try and embody is the grasp of the hand to the foot, creating a circle, also is meant to represent the ever-changing world. And as you know, as you kick into the foot kicks into the hand, or the hand pulls into the foot, the shape is changing. So what we would like to embody is that ever-changing world, together with that stability of the standing leg, that kind of core groundedness, if you like. And the hand protects us from all evil and all fear. There's also a blazing ring of fire around Shiva that you perhaps know what I'm talking about. If not, just Google it and you'll see. And this blazing ring of fire represents the different lives that are awaiting us, or perhaps we've already gone through. Because I am sure you are aware of the fact that in Buddhism, there is a strong belief of rebirth, and that's the ring of fire. You go and translate it however you want to. Today, hopefully, as you practice the pose with me, you will not be surrounded by the ring of fire. Should you, however, happen to be surrounded by the ring of fire, please take extra care and rely on your steady leg and the ever-changing world around you to guide you through it. Make sure you use your right hand to protect you. All right, we're going to start in extended child's pose. And make sure that you find comfort in it. And if you don't, I'll guide you through some options. Enjoy the practice. Let me know how you get on in comments below. Thank you so much for choosing me to accompany you for the next few moments.
As we meet today in extended child's pose, just take a moment to notice if everything feels comfortable, and if by any chance you feel any discomfort in your knees, your ankles, your hips, maybe even perhaps move yourself more upright, maybe just sit it on your shins. You can still do all these moves just in a different plane. And if you are satisfied that everything feels good and comfortable, just a couple of breaths here, grounding, settling down, arriving in the present moment, like we always do. See if you can perhaps melt the heart a little bit more to the floor. Walk the hands slightly further away. Settle the forehead. Notice where your mind is, where your breath is. And when I say where your breath is, I want you to kind of notice the physical aspect of that breath. Where do you feel it the most? And then gently roll the forehead on the mat. Just massaging. And if you are seated upright, just stay as you are. And then we're going to lift the palms off of the floor and just leave the fingertips on the ground. Walk the hands a little bit further away. Take a breath in, grounding through the hips, lengthening through the side body. Full breath out. Open your mouth. Let it all out, 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 out. Let's try that one more time. Inhale in. Feel the back body expand. Open your mouth. Exhale all of it out. Fantastic. Now settle the elbows really close to your head and bend your arms at the elbows, bringing the hands into prayer. And if you are finding yourself seated just on your shins, just bring your arms over the head, bend the elbows and bring the hands behind you. Nice and easy. Wherever you are, we're going to just straighten and rebend those arms a few times. But if you are in the extended child's pose still, I want you to focus on pressing the elbows down into the floor and pulling them slightly towards your hips. Take the pinkies down towards the floor and then rebend the elbows and take the thumbs up and over towards the neck. Just a few times, like a little shark fin. Let that movement of the elbows just warm up through the shoulders. And if you are seated, just straighten and rebend, feeling the triceps working, keeping the elbows close to your ears at all times. Last one, just bring the thumbs up and over. Stay there for a moment. Walk those elbows further away on the mat, or maybe lift them higher to the sky if you're seated. And then gently release that. Bring the hands to the floor. Spread the fingertips nice and wide and lift up to all fours. Bring your knees directly underneath your hips. Take a moment in here to align. And let's just do a couple of circles with the hips. So come towards the wrists, straightening a little bit through the hips, keeping the shoulders slightly ahead of the wrist. Press the fingertips. Take your hips to the right. Big, 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 big circle to the back, to the left. Like a stretching cat, come to the front. And reverse this to the left, to the back, to the right. And nice and easy forward. Now from here, what I want you to do is just a really sloppy upward facing dog. So drop the hips ever so slightly towards the ground. Keep those knees still grounded, but just kind of look over each shoulder gently. Windshield wiping almost, or like a wagging tail kind of movement. All right, come into center and then push the float away. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Just push the heart slightly further forward. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes under. Take yourself to your first downward facing dog of the practice. For the first down dog, as always, please feel free to wag your tail. Soften your knees one at a time. And just soften yourself into this pose. Take a few breaths, few moments in here before we come into stillness. When you find stillness, soften your knees, lift your heels high off of the floor, and then bring your tailbone up towards the sky. Bring your belly towards the thighs. Push the flow of the hands. Sink your ears in between the shoulders. Soft of the elbows up to the sky. Then see if you can straighten the knees without losing the height of the tailbone. One more breath here. And full exhale. Nice. Let's lift the right leg up towards the sky. We're going to go for a pigeon just to warm up. Bring the right knee to the right wrist, right foot to the left side of the mat.
settle yourself down for pigeon. We're going to start a little bit more active today. So bring your hands towards your hips and stay nice and upright. Feel the legs zipping towards one another. Feel that front shin pressing down. Back leg squeezing slightly forward. Squeeze that back glute. Take a moment to maybe sink the hips a little lower, hugging through the navel. And let's come into forearms. As you come into forearms, interlace your fingers. Press the forearms into the floor so we're not collapsing in here, but we're still super engaged, super active. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee off of the mat. Lean slightly over those wrists. And then as well as you can, without lifting the hips too high, slide that right foot back into the plank pose. Take a moment here in your forearm plank, pressing the wrists into the floor. Tailbone is long. Drop the heels to the right. Nice. As you drop the heels to the right, option to stay here or lift the right foot off of the mat. Slightly challenging. Release the right foot down. Heels upright. Take a moment, push the floor. Try not to lift your hips too high. Drop your heels to the left. Option to stay here or lift the left foot off of the mat. Take a breath in here, full breath out. Open your mouth, find your obliques. Release that down. Heels up, lower down, Sphinx pose. Take a breath here. Broaden the collarbones. Pull the elbows back and apart. As you exhale, relax it down. Let's take the right arm to a T and then bend that right elbow, keeping the right hand directly over the right elbow. Let's take the elbow, the whole right arm, slightly further to the right and slightly higher. Left hand under the left shoulder, bend the left knee, roll on top of that right shoulder. Now I'm going to straighten my leg. You can keep it bent. You can let it touch the ground. It doesn't have to. Keep your tailbone neutral. Press the right arm into the floor. Breath in, full breath out. Nice and simple. Come back, unravel. Let's try this on the other side. Hands under the shoulders. Stack your toes under through all fours. Push up into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Left knee to left wrist. Left foot to the right side of the mat. Take a pigeon. As you're lowering into this pigeon, stay nice and active. Hands under the hips for the first one. As we're trying to warm up through the muscles, we're making it a little bit less passive, getting the body used to the movement. Take a breath in, full breath out. Zip that left shin to the floor, pull it slightly back, right hip pulls forward, squeeze that right glute. It's good for you, I promise. And then nice and easy, let's lower down to your forearms, interlace your hands one more time, perhaps the odd thumb on top. Keep your elbows shoulder width apart, pressing into those forearms, tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee off of the mat, slide it back, forearm plank. Option to stay here, drop the heels to the left is optional. Option to stay here, or lift that left foot off of the mat one more time. Find your left obliques, release, come back upright. Same thing, other side. Option obviously to stay here. You can always lower to your knees if it's too much for you here, otherwise drop. Option to stay, or lift the right foot. Press both forearms evenly. Release it down. Lift the heels up. Drop your hips gently down to the floor. Take a breath in your Sphinx. Moment in here. Exhale. Release it down. Left elbow to the side. Let it lift about an inch above the shoulder. Then nice and easy, take it about an inch away from you. Even further. Right hand under the right shoulder. Roll on top of the left side. Take a moment here. Press the left arm into the floor. Keep your left temple close to the floor. Tailbone is neutral. And come back, unravel. Hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes under, lift to all fours into downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Then carve along with your nose. Look forward, bend your knees, exhale fully, and then step, walk, or hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Bring your hands to the tops of the shins, squeeze your shoulders, lift your shoulders in line with the hips, exhale, relax. Inhale, reverse swan dive, peel from that space between your shoulder blades, engage your core, reach up, squeeze your glutes, quads, lift through the ring fingers, exhale, hands to prayer. Take a moment, notice your breath, notice your feet grounding through the floor. Take a full exhale. Fantastic. On your inhale, sweep your arms left and right. Take a big, big circle. Look up, exhale, bring your thumbs towards the neck behind you. Squeeze the elbows, maybe look up, squeeze the glutes, and exhale, swan dive forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Today, bring your hands to the shins, soften your knees, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower the left knee. Nice. Inhale, take an Natarajasana. Take your hips back and ribs back. By now you should know this. And then nice and soft, cactus your arms, open up, exhale. Take a moment here, inhale, lifting the heart ever so slightly higher. Exhale, zip your elbows together, bringing the elbows and pinkies to meet. Inhale, cactus, look up. One more time, exhale, zip them together. Nice. Inhale, lift them slightly higher. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor, frame the front foot. Stay here, broaden the collarbones, look forward. Now press that back knee into the floor. Flex your toes and nice and easy, exhale, bring your heel to the glute. Fantastic, release that down. Let's try that 2 more times. Bring it in, squeeze it really close without lifting your hips. Release it down. You should feel your hamstrings working. You should feel your hip flexors trying to bring it closer, your quads. Release it down. Keeping the back toes untucked under. Push the floor away. Lift the back knee. Step it back. Downward facing dog first. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. See if you can let your hips and chest touch the ground at the same time. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, relax. Bring your hands behind you, interlace. Inhale, locust. Lift everything off of the mat. Lift your legs nice and straight. Exhale, let that relax. Soften your knees, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, Natarajasana. If you need a strap here, you can always work on this actively. Let that go. Bring your hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes under, either through all fours or perhaps through plank. Push it up, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. On your exhale, left foot between the hands. Lower the back knee. Inhale, Natarajasana. Hips back, ribs back. Inhale, reach the arms higher. Exhale, cactus. Nice. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, bring your elbows and pinkies to meet. Inhale, open up. Take your tailbone to the front of the mat. Exhale, bring your elbows and pinkies to meet. Stay here. Inhale, lift them higher. Exhale, frame the front foot. Stay here for a moment. Broaden the collarbones, look forward. Flex your toes of the right foot. Exhale, bring the heel towards the glute. Lengthen it nice and slow. 2 more times like that. Bring it in. Let it lengthen. And last one, bring it in. Really squeeze, bring that heel as close to the glute as you can. Let that go. Lift the back knee off of the mat. Step the right to meet the left. Forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Bow it down, exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Nice. Shift your weight to your right foot and then bring your left knee in front of you. Flex the toes of the left foot. Bring your hands to your hips. Notice if the hips had done a little shimmy dance. And then nice and simple, bring your knees in line with one another, but do not move that line of that left knee. As you do this, take your tailbone towards that standing heel. Imagine you're kicking into an invisible wall with the left foot. And then nice and simple, bring your right hand in front of you, palm faces out, like so. Nice. As if you're holding on to an imaginary wall, take a moment in here. As you take this moment, kick into the back wall and begin to reach with the left hand towards the left foot. Bring the left heel closer to the hand. And now see if you can hug in through those lower ribs and press that right hand into imaginary wall. So we're kicking the left foot into the wall, pushing the right hand into the wall, and then at the same time reaching the left heel to the left hand. Fantastic. Unravel from this. Bring your hands to prayer, both feet down. Take a moment. Notice the echo of the pose. Where do you feel it? Where do you hear it? Deep breath in, full breath out. Nice. Send your weight to the left foot. Bring your right knee in front of you. Notice if you have done a little Shakira with your hips. Flex your right toes. Bring your right knee in line with the left knee. Nice. All right, tailbone is long towards that left heel. Left hand presses into imaginary wall. Right hand goes towards the right ankle, but never catches. Right foot presses into imaginary wall. Left hand presses into imaginary wall. Lower ribs hug in, and then see if you can reach the right hand towards the right heel. Take a moment in here. It's nowhere near as satisfactory as grabbing that foot, but it's good for us. Nice and easy. Release that down. If you want to shimmy your legs, shimmy your hips, do so. Take a moment. Inhale, chair pose. Send your weight to your heels. Bring your hands behind you, interlace. Take a moment here as you inhale. Take your heart a little higher. Think heart opening in your chair. Tailbone is neutral. Exhale, fold forward. Lift from the armpits up towards the sky. And then bring your pinkies more towards the head. One more breath. As you exhale, let those hands relax without pinging. Frame the feet, step the right foot back this time. Lower the right knee. Inhale, Natarajasana. Exhale, hands to prayer. Bring them behind you. Lean back. Take a moment here. Exhale, hands to the floor. Nice and easy. Bring that right heel to the right glute. Bring the right hand towards that foot. And then gently pull that heel towards the glute, giving yourself a little extra stretch. One moment here. And then optional to walk that hand to grab hold of the big toe mound. So your thumb is shining up towards the sky and your right shoulder is opening. From here, kick the foot into the hand and notice how that right shoulder is opening more. Let that go with control. Frame the front foot. Step it back. Downward facing dog first. Now stay with me and follow those cues, and I promise you will enjoy this. Shift forward to plank. Nice. In your plank, flip yourself to the tops of the feet and then gently lower down as if you're trying to lower down to a really sloppy upward facing dog. Nice. Soften your elbows, keep them close to the body as you lower the hips down for a high cobra. Elbows hug in, hands pull back. Take a breath in here. Exhale, let that soften and relax. Tuck your toes under, push into all fours or plank, downward facing dog. Let's try this as we come out of the pose. Right leg lifts up, step it between the hands. Lower the back knee. Nice and easy, Natarajasana. Hands to that shark fin, namaste. Bring them behind you, look up, tailbone to the front heel. Nice and soft, frame the front foot. Take a moment in here, aligning yourself. I don't mind for this pose, that knee goes slightly further forward. Nice and easy, see if you can bring that left heel to the left glute with the left hand. Hold on to it. As you hold it, Nice and soft. Pull that heel to the glute. You should feel nice stretch through the quads. Stay here. Optional to walk it. So we're now holding onto the big toe mound. That left shoulder is opening. Thumb goes towards the sky like you're giving thumbs up. And then kick the foot into the hand, but keep that torso rotating forward. So try not to take yourself into that left side, but keep gazing forward. Without pinging, let that go. Frame the front foot, tag the back toes under. Step the left to meet the right, forward fold. Halfway lift in. Soften and bow out. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, let that relax. Fantastic. Now from here, we're going to play with dancer. So I want you to come into chair, hands to prayer in front of you. Send your weight to the right foot. And then bring your left heel to the left glute. With the left hand, grab hold of that left foot. Now option to hold it from the outside or maybe even from the inside. So take that big toe side of your left foot and now turn your right palm to the front of the room. All right. Nice and easy. Straighten the right leg as much as you can and kick the left foot into the left hand. Keep turning your torso towards the front of the room or the front edge of the mat. Maybe even press that right hand further forward. Imagine it's holding onto the wall. Maybe even grab hold of that left ankle. Kick in. Take one more moment. Don't let that left knee spill to the left. Keep it nice and close to the midline. Let that go. Come back to chair pose. With control. Take a moment. If this is too much, take a forward fold. 2 to 3 breaths. And then come back to this chair pose and let's try this on the other side. Shift your weight to the left foot. Bring the right heel to the right glute. Right hand holds onto that right foot. Maybe walk it to the inner edge. Now holding onto the big toe, right thumb faces up. Left hand points forward. Straighten that left leg as much as you can and then kick the right foot to the right hand. Maybe even grab hold of the right ankle, push the left hand into imaginary wall. Feel that left foot doing a little micro dance. Take a moment here. Breathe, open the heart forward. And then exhale. Relax, chair pose. Fold forward. Nice. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out, grab hold of the elbows. Let the belly melt onto the thighs. Notice the dialogue in your head. Notice the quality of your breath. And then let go of the elbows, hands to the floor. Halfway lift, inhale. For this one, you're going to need your strap. As you exhale, bring your hands to the floor. Step the left foot back. Lower the left knee. Nice. Now I've done a little loop on my strap already. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that loop onto the left foot. All right. And then what I want to do with this end of the strap, I want to keep it close to my left shoulder. So when I roll myself back, I'm finding that the strap is still on my left shoulder. Bring that right heel slightly closer in. Don't worry about pulling slightly forward. And now from here, bring your both palms onto that strap. Your elbows up towards the sky. And then gently lift the foot off of the mat. Walk your hands as close as you can on this strap. Take a moment here. Elbows in, heart up. Take a breath in, breath out. Feel the stretch through the left quad. Smile. Ha! I promised myself never to say that. And here I am, breaking my own promises. All right. One more breath. If you have more, take it. And then gently slide the strap away from the hands. Keep the strap where it is for now. Just release it to the side. Bring the hands to the floor. Lift that back knee off of the mat. Step it back. Downward facing dog first. Pull forward to plank. Let's try this transition one more time. Flip to the tops of the feet. And then gently lower the hips. Find yourself in upward facing dog. Don't let the thighs touch the floor yet. Hug the shoulders, hug the elbows. Take the heart forward. Press through the index finger and the thumb. And then see if you can let the thighs and the hips rest. Come into a high cobra. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, relax. Tuck your toes under. Inhale through all fours or a plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Full breath out. As well as you can without losing the strap from the left foot. Step the left foot between the hands. Nice. If you need to rotate the metal clasp of it, bring it to the top of the foot. Step the right foot to meet the left, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, soften and bow. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Take a moment. Notice the quality of your breath. And then bring the left foot behind you. Grab hold of the strap. You might need to rotate it one more time. And then as you're holding onto the strap, one more time, loop it over that left shoulder. Find your balance through the right foot, just like we did earlier on. Both hands to the strap, elbows up. Now keeping the elbows close to your head, walk yourself towards that foot. Nice. Take your heart further forward. Kick the foot into the hand. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Find a micro dance on that right foot. The standing leg in this pose is representing our soul. Our soul is meant to be steady and grounded. One more breath. Then gently let go of that strap. Super easy. Release. Fantastic. Let's take a half sun salute in between the sides. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Enjoy this forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Lengthening through the spine. Exhale, relax. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to prayer. Let's try this on the other side. Having that strap handy one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step the right foot back. Lower the right knee, grab hold of the strap, and in whatever manner you feel you want to, just hook that strap on that right foot. There we go. Coming back to your lunge, just nice and easy, bring this strap over your right shoulder. Let it rest there for a moment and find that base of your legs nice and comfortable. Let that left knee overshoot the left ankle slightly, bend the right foot, right knee, bring the right foot to the glute. Nice. Now from here, see if you can grab hold of both hands on the strap, bringing the elbows close to the head, walk your hands on that strap and take a little heart opener here. Kick the foot into the strap, tailbone is long, lower ribs are still hugging in, so we're not just dumping the weight in our lower back. Take a breath in. As you exhale, gently slide it out. This pose is probably known to some of you to be named Ekapada Rajakapotasana 2, so Pigeon 2. Frame that front foot, step it back, downward facing dog first. One last time, we're going to transition through that plank to up dog. So shift forward to plank, flip yourself to the tops of the feet and gently open the heart in your upward facing dog. Legs are strong, heels towards one another. And then drop gently your legs, your hips, elbows hug in. Press through the index finger and the thumb. Open the heart, shoulders zip. Let that soften, relax. Tuck your toes under through all fours or plank pose. Come into downward facing dog. I nearly said child's pose. I think that's just my mind's way of telling me what it really wants. Deep breath in, full breath out. Without losing the strap from the right foot, step the right foot between the hands. Nice, you might want to rotate that buckle on it and then step the left to meet the right. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, relax. I've got the end of the strap in my right hand. You don't have to. You can always just grab it as that leg bends. All right, send your weight to the left leg. Then, bending your right knee, bring the strap over the right shoulder. Nice. Just like we did earlier, let your tailbone be long towards the heel and let your core be engaged. Pulling here, letting the navel come in. All right, both hands on the strap, elbows go up, frame the head, and then nice and easy, walk your hands towards the foot. Kick the foot into the strap, take the heart forward. Smile. All right, last one, I've said that, I promise. All right, try not to dump into your spine, so think length rather than just this back bend. And then gently slide the foot out. Release the strap. Put it to the side. Inhale, reach both arms up, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Grab hold of the opposite elbows. Relax your chin to your chest. Head to the floor. Perhaps rock from side to side. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Fantastic. Relax your hands to the floor. Come into a halfway lift. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your heels towards your back as you come into a squat. Nice. We're going to grab the strap and put it towards the mid-length of the mat. And now from here, guided by your hands, let yourself relax onto your bum bum. All right. Bring your legs nice and long in front of you. First thing we're going to use the strap for is our little forward fold. So bring your strap to your feet. Take a breath in here, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, bring yourself to forward fold. See if you can today, lengthen through the spine rather than round it. Normally I don't mind a little rounding in the forward fold, a little bit like a child's pose. I always find it quite relaxing. There is this obsession in yoga about extending the spine, which isn't too good for us anyway. So this extension, living in a constant extension, can have its effects on our well-being. But for now, see if you can really lengthen through that lumbar, because we've been bending backwards and really after having a little length there. And then for your next breath, I want you to think child's pose and just gently let yourself relax over the legs. Collarbones are still broad. Breath is calm. Fantastic. Then gently roll yourself back upright. Take the strap to one side. Keep it in there. Might be handy for our final twist of the practice. But for now, bring the right knee into your chest. Hug it in nice and close. Step the right foot over the left leg if that feels available to you. Option 1, lift the left arm up towards the sky. Lengthen through the left side of the body first. And then hugging through with the elbow. Now, if you find this really easy, you can also hook that left elbow outside that right knee. If you do this and you notice that that left shoulder lifts towards the chin, just back it off, create space here, and take it easy. Twisting to the right side of the room. See if you can stay nice and high on your fingertips. If you start dumping into that back palm, you're going to start leaning back. So see if you can stay nice and upright. As you inhale, lengthen through the lumbar, again through the lower ribs, and as you exhale, twist. Nice. You can stay here, or if you find that the space has been created for that elbow to hook, feel free to hook it. You can also lift that right hand off of the mat and bring it to the left hip. Wherever you are, let's take 2 more breaths. Nice and easy. Fantastic. Softly unravel. Take a moment to turn ever so slightly to the left as you take that right foot back where it came from. Let's try this on the other side. Left leg in towards your chest, left knee in towards your chest. Then option to stay here or to cross over that right leg. Sometimes when we do this, the right leg tends to run to the left side of the floor. See if you can stay in line with the hip. Let's lift the right arm this time, lengthen towards the ring fingers, and then hug that left knee. I like to use my left hand to kind of let my chest open to the left side of the mat, and then lengthening through the lumbar, broadening through the collarbones. I find depth in this twist. Option obviously to hook that elbow over that leg with space in that shoulder. Don't try to avoid this, create space. And of course, option to bring that left hand to the right hip. Take a couple of breaths here. Stay engaged, stay strong. Unravel. Fantastic. Bring both legs nice and long. Windshield wipe your feet slightly. And then using your hands, slide yourself onto your bum. Bring your knees to your chest. As a final hip opener, I'd like to invite you to take a child's pose. I would like to invite you to take a happy baby pose. That's the one. So grab hold of the soles of the feet and then just shine the soles of the feet to the sky. You can roll here from side to side. Now, if you've had enough for today, just relax here. If you want to try something else in your happy baby, I'm going to invite you to bring your feet about as if they're in a squat. So they're no longer above the knees, they're kind of like halfway through the thighs. But the soles of the feet are still to the sky. So you're just imagining that you're in that squat position. Now what I want you to do is bring the bring the back of the pelvis to the floor and arch the lower back ever so slightly off of the mat. Now I know this might be counterintuitive, but trust me, we're going to take care of our hip flexors. Now from here, keep the lower back off of the mat at all times. Keep the back of the pelvis on the floor though, and see if you can stay in this pose, letting go of your feet. Feel those hip flexors squeezing in. Bring your knees closer. Try not to let that lower back touch the ground. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Bring your hands to your feet and one more time, rock from side to side. Now, if you really enjoyed it, let's try this one more time. We're going to stay there for about count of 5. So nothing crazy at this stage of the practice. Just bring your feet into this reverse squat, nice and close. Peel the lower back off of the mat, back of the pelvis onto the mat. And then 3, 2, 1, let go of your feet, but don't change the alignment that you find yourself in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and grab hold of the feet. Give yourself a little stretch and a little hug. Beautiful. And for the final twist, we're going to take an easy twist. But since you have your strap handy, let's bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Now from here, let's bring the right foot back into that little loop of the strap. And then lengthen the right leg to the sky. Take the left leg nice and long to the floor. And then take the right foot to the left side of your mat. Open the right hand to a T or a cactus. And you can feel free to roll on top of that left hip to let the right foot touch the ground. Take a couple of moments here, really stretching through the right leg. Taking the tailbone onto a neutral. Let yourself feel the stretch. Wonderful. Rebend the right knee. Bring yourself back to center. Slide the strap off of the right foot. Bring the right leg into the floor. Bring the right foot onto your loop. And then take it to the other side. As you know, I have a wall here. But trust me, you can roll all the way to that right hip. Taking the foot all the way to the right side of the mat. Taking yourself into this little twist. It's actually quite nice having the foot on the floor. Take a moment, relax your breath into it, easing gently into this pose. See if you can relax your muscles as you lay here. Is anything tense? Stay present with it. Wonderful. Gently unravel from this. Take the foot out of the strap, put the strap to a side, and feel free to take either Shavasana, final resting pose, perhaps a supine butterfly might feel good, or maybe just a seated meditation. Staying here with me for a few more moments. Take a place that you find yourself really comfortable. Staying with the breath, noticing the quality of the inhale and exhale. And whether you are seated or lying down, allow me for the last few moments to guide you through a few more moments of paying attention, staying mindful. The breath is always the anchor that let us connect the subtle internal landscape with the external. So let the breath be the guide. Focusing on the quality of the inhale and its impact on the physical body. Can you feel the breath at the back of the rib cage? Can you feel the exhale, letting the ribs give you a hug? And if you don't feel it, try exhaling through open mouth. Perhaps even you get to feel the obliques hanging in before anything else. And then notice the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. Notice if it feels equally full as you inhale and as you exhale. Only a full exhale can set you up for a full inhale. So see if you can let all of that air out of your lungs. Maybe even pausing at the end before you take a silent inhale. And then lastly, notice the condition of that inhale and exhale. Is it smooth or jumpy? Does it feel rigid? Does it feel forced? Can you make it smoother? If you are enjoying this kind of mindful awareness of your being and your breath, please stay here for however long you have time for. Otherwise, seal your practice with me by bringing the hands together, bowing the head towards your fingertips. As always, forever grateful that you have chosen to practice with me. If you've enjoyed the practice, share it. If you didn't, share it. You never know, others might just like it. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Namaste.